fella Billy Butler played today. In fact, it was only said yesterday that Ridian's portrayal of Pontius Pilate was probably the best portrayal of Pontius Pilate ever on stage, Ridian. That's woman next door but one in our street.
That's very sweet of her to say. How are you, Billy? It's great to be here.
It's good to see you here.
Oh, likewise.
I keep expecting you to have a Scouse accent. You come here so much.
Well, I love it here. How can you not love it? And the Empire Theatre is a fantastic space to play in. We're an amazing show. It's probably one of Lloyd Webber's and Tim Rice's best shows, I believe. Yeah. One of the greatest soundtracks. I mean, you just played one of those, the song that I sing in the first half, but the real 11 o'clock numbers, as I like to call them, the great numbers, are Gethsemane and I Don't Know How to Love Him that Mary sings. And of course, Superstar, the title song. It's great to be back in Liverpool.
Yeah. Did the audience sing along with Jesus Christ Superstar?
I haven't heard any. I mean, it's
probably one which inside you're dying to join in, but it's not the kind of song that you do it to, is it?
No, I think most audiences are being gripped by the story, you know, and it's obviously quite a harrowing ending, and the crucifixion's very moving. You do hear some people getting along with the spirit of things, and the Herod's song is the character of Herod is quite comical. So that's a good fun number. And yeah, I might have heard a few people trying to sing along to Superstar. But it's a different show. We call it more of a legit musical rather than a jukebox musical, you know.
I mean, and you're a very direct, controversial person, Ridian. I mean, at the times when you might think, I'll find him not guilty this performance, just to throw the whole thing.
So I don't... Say that? What do you mean, Billy? I'm controversial. You mean as a character, or...?
No, I mean, you could be very controversial and one night, just for fun, find him not guilty.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Just to see the reaction.
Don't tempt me. That would really ruin the show. Yeah, well, I mean, funny you should say that, because...
Hello, Mr. Lloyd Webber here. He what?
Yeah, no, maybe on a Mess About Matinee or something. No, I won't do it. I'm only joking. But yeah, it's an epic part, because obviously I... sentence him to death, and there's a real harrowing scene with the 39 lashes that I'm involved in before he's crucified. But of course, I didn't actually, as Pilate, the character, I didn't want to condemn him to death. I was torn, and in the end, it was cowardice, perhaps, that prevailed. But it's a good role to play.
It's a brilliant role to play, and it's totally different from Grease and Rocky Horror Show, isn't it? And War of the Worlds.
Exactly,
totally different.
Yeah, exactly. I like them all for different reasons, but I've been a huge admirer of this show, and I'm just delighted to be a part. And of course, Bill Kenwright producing it, co-directed it, so it's great to work with Bill, who you must know.
Oh, no, Bill very well.
Yeah.
I told you last time he's one of the Cavern lads. He had his own band at the Cavern. It's true. Bill Kenwright and the Runaways.
Were they any good?
Ask Bill.
I'm just going to say yes so I don't get fired.
Let me tell you a little secret when you see him again. You know, Bill also does these musicals, these 60 musicals, like Petticoats and...
Dreamboats, Petticoats?
And Petticoats and all that. And he puts a soundtrack album out as well to go with the show. On one of those soundtrack albums, he sneaked a song in by William Kenwright.
Did he really?
Yeah. One of his own hits, one of his old recordings.
Well, why not? Why not? I mean, he's a clever man, isn't he?
Well, I just found it so funny he didn't put his real name. He put William Kenwright in the track listing.
But it's still a bit obvious who it is.
I know that.
Especially to you and I.
I mean, it's not like Bill to try and get royalties off something, is it?
Yeah, it's funny. I remember working with Mr. Cowell, and I was working with these two producers in Sweden. And they were in a dispute with Cowell because he wanted his name on one of the songs for Leona Lewis, Footprints in the Sand.
Yeah.
Because they were saying
great song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a lovely song there.
But Cowell was adamant he wanted a writer's credit because he said, you should call it Footprints in the Sand. So you'll see on that credit, any Leona fans there, it says S. Cowell as one of the writers. But of course, he has the power.
Yeah, it used to go on years ago. I thought that had stopped. Anyway, let's have another song from you, Ridian.
Time for us, there's no place for us. What is this thing that builds our dreams, yet slips away from us. Who wants to live forever? Who wants to live forever? There's no chance for us. It's all decided for us. This world has only one sweet moment set aside for us. Who wants to live forever? Who wants to live forever? Who dares to love forever? When love must die, and we can have forever, and we can love forever. Forever is not today. Who wants to live forever? Who waits forever anyway?
Brilliant. He told me he recorded that 7 years ago. Still sounds great. Who wants to live forever? I've just been told to read it. There are pop songs, aren't you, if you can spot them, which will take a classical treatment.
Yeah, I there's some great pop songs like on my recent album, One Day Like This, the elbow cover.
Yeah.
You know, I heard that and I thought the orchestration in that and the build of the vocal line would suit my voice well, so I put that on my album, and also The Blower's Daughter by Damien Rice. But yeah, that's what's fun about what we do and the whole crossover. A lot of people ask me, what do you mean by classical crossover? It's simply classically trained. I do classical singing like Ave Maria and Nessun Dorma and stuff, but also we look for songs, great pop songs. But I might have mentioned it before, it's important not to, what I call, murder the genre.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like make it sound hammed. I hate it when opera singers overdo the enunciation and stuff with pop songs. It's fine in opera, but anyway, it's just my personal taste.
But no, but you're right. I mean, with there being so much competition in the classical crossover field now, which there is.
Yeah.
You know, then you know it's very important that you do have the right ear to spot that pop song, which will adapt to a classical crossover.
Yeah, you mentioned a song to me last time I spoke to you on the phone. We did an interview, and you mentioned Eloise.
Oh yeah.
The song Eloise.
Yeah.
And the sun don't shine any. What it was?
The sun ain't gonna shine
anymore.
The
Yeah,
Walker Brothers
yeah,
one.
yeah. So I've looked into that as well, especially for you.
There's a German opera singer called Peter Hoffmann who put out The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore about 20 years ago.
Well.
That was the first example I'd seen of crossover. The guy did a whole. He was a big German opera singer, and he did a pop album.
Right.
And that was one that really stood out. The sun ain't gonna shine anymore.
Well,
and Eloise, I mean that's got such drama. They've got a whole orchestra in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, don't listen to the Stranglers version. Paul Ryan is the one you want.
What's your favourite all-time song? Would you say, Billy?
Oh, it's hard to say. There's so many, isn't there? You know, I mean, if I had to have a knife to me throat, there's a version of a Buddy Holly song called "Tell Me How" by a country singer called Nancy Griffith,
Right.
and it's brilliant.
Okay, I'll look into that.
But I still love. But that wouldn't suit you.
No, but I
No.
could still
But
appreciate it as a
I
listener.
said to you last time, I love Anthem.
From Chess.
Yeah, and you've done that.
Yeah, I've done that.
as well.
Yeah.
But I think Kerry Ellis has got the version you got to judge him by.
Was that with Brian May?
Yeah.
Well, Kerry's a good friend of mine.
I know that,
She
yeah.
did a duet on my last album. She's fantastic.
I mean, the kitchen sink and everything is thrown into that version.
Yeah.
By Kerry.
Yeah. Yeah, oh no, she's a real gift, isn't she? I mean, she's just sensational, and of course playing Grisabella in Cats now in the West End. She just goes from strength to strength. And interestingly, she's one that did The Voice, didn't get through, if you remember, and she's still achieving.
And that was after
Yeah.
the Brian May thing as well.
I know.
And when they announced it, I thought, can't be Kerry Ellis. She wouldn't be on The Voice.
Yeah.
It didn't get through.
I think that was poor management, if I'm being honest. I didn't think she needed to do it.
But by the same token, Danny Minogue voted you a no in the auditions, didn't he?
She did.
And she ended up mentoring you.
And that wasn't even edited. She actually, I said to her,
Yeah.
"Did you say that?" She said, "Yeah, I didn't like you," and that's fair enough, you know. But I hopefully turned that around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you certainly did.
Yeah.
And I always say this, my favourite Gestapo officer.
You always say that.
I always say that. He'd be brilliant in a war series as a wicked Gestapo officer. He'd carry it off well.
Thank you, Billy. I'll take that as a compliment.
Anyway, it's good to have you back here, Riddy, and I'm going to play Love Is a Wonderful Thing after the travel. But many, many thanks for popping in. Good luck all at the... And Riddy just told me he's got a big tour coming up in November, and he's at the Philharmonic Hall.
Yeah, in Liverpool. So there's other dates there on my website. It starts in September until November. So take a look at the website. It'll be, well, dates to be announced, by the way. We're still finalising a few. And come and see me in Jesus Christ Superstar, which is running all this week.
Did you ever do You Never Walk Alone for Liverpool or anything like that? Because
You're an Evertonian, though, aren't
I'm
you?
an Evertonian.
Yeah.
But I love the song. It's the song, not what it denotes.
No, I do sing that. I often perform in male voice choirs because a lot of concerts in Wales, and they love that song. I love that song too. I love the show it comes from, Carousel. So yeah, I do perform it. Yeah.
And I believe the Welsh national rugby team are getting up a petition to get you to pack up singing and to play rugby again.
If only. I'm too small and too soft now. I couldn't.
But you liked it, didn't you?
I loved it.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be involved with the Rugby World Cup. I'm writing an EP for the Rugby World Cup this year. I think I've written a hit. You'll be one of the first to hear it before it goes live on air.
Okay.
Give you my opinion.
Well, thanks for coming in, Riddian. You're always welcome.
Oh, well,
So
it's a
very
pleasure to
much.
be here. Thanks for having me on.